にちは、皆さん。I'm Great Oka Unite Empire。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんですよ。みんな、ブローキンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Let's fucking go, baby! CM Punk, your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Let's go! Yeah, man, it's, I'm so fucking happy right now. I just, we waited 7 years, for him to come back, and it's just, we'll talk about it, we'll get into it, but, raw reaction, the show just ended, and I'm emotional. I cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm a big CM Punk guy. Huge fan. When he left WWE, it was huge for me, and it was, I was a huge fan of his, a diehard, and to see him back and winning the world title, like it was seriously fucking heavy for me. Like it was a special match, special night. We're gonna tally up the predictions. I don't know who won yet. I don't think I won, but you know what? At the end of the day, like, I did pretty.
I'm feeling great no matter what.
I did pretty shitty, so I don't think I won.
We'll go over it. I have them in front of me, but as we go through the night, I'm gonna tally it up.
Right.
I didn't want to go into this knowing that I definitely won or lost, so,
right.
or anyone for that matter.
All right. Oh, holy crap, man! All right, let's get started with the buy-in. We started out with Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. This was a really fun match. Danhausen actually got a moment to put on a good show. I thought Danhausen put on a really good show. Mark Sterling is hilarious when he's in the ring. He's my new second favorite geek behind Brandon Cutler. Great match, man. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a really fun opening to the pay-per-view. Obviously, based off our stream last night, we were talking a lot, and there was definitely a lot of emotions going into the pay-per-view. I felt like, there was a lot of attention on the MJF story, which we'll get to when we get to it.
Yeah.
But I felt like this was a great way to kind of get the crowd, in a good mood. Yeah. And it was a really fun match. Hookhausen is awesome. Sterling's awesome. Tony Nese is awesome. I gotta put my phone on vibrate. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, no, this was a super fun match, super enjoyable. I mean, it was great to see Hookhausen get the win, and it was great to see him get it the way they got it.
Yeah.
Hook kind of doing the heavy lifting, and Danhausen just getting the tag and coming in and getting the pin.
Yeah, I was really happy that Danhausen got to put some work in on this match. He actually went against Tony Nese for a few minutes. Tony Nese tried laughing at him, but Danhausen kind of beat him up for a sec. But Hook finishes off Mark Sterling, and before he can put in the red rum, Danhausen asks for the pin. So Hook tags him in, and Danhausen puts one foot on the chest, and Hookhausen gets their first win.
Yeah. So in terms of the predictions, all three of us took Hookhausen to win this match.
All three of us.
So we are tied between you, me, and Forrest. We're all tied with 1 point.
All right, so that's all they had on the buy-in show. So that brings us to the start of tonight's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Right off the bat, we get MJF's music hits, and it took a while, but MJF comes out of the heel tunnel, wearing his awesome blue Ric Flair-esque type robe. He did not look happy. I definitely wrote that down. MJF looked extremely not pleased to have to get into the ring with Wardlow here. Lots and lots of "F-U MJF" chants coming from the audience there. Saw one guy with a sign that said, "Hey MJF, where's my money?" So that was a pretty good one. But yeah, MJF actually shows up. Obviously from last night, we know that it wasn't a work to begin with. We were told that this was a shoot that could have turned into a work. So, yeah, whatever this was, it worked out.
Wardlow comes out with his entrance, no music. I was hoping they had War Pigs. I know you were hoping for that too.
I was too, yeah.
But yeah, we essentially got a squash match here with Wardlow squashing MJF.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this match went exactly like I thought it was going to if last night was a shoot.
Yeah.
Like you said, MJF came out. He definitely teased the crowd a little bit. I mean, I feel like right now I can't 100% say if it's a work or a shoot. Still.
Yes.
But this match did go down the way I would expect it to go if, like we talked about on the stream last night, where we need to get MJF in the match, have him lose, have Wardlow look dominant, and then move on.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. He came out. They definitely padded the match with MJF doing really classic heel stuff. And it was great. But in terms of offense, MJF didn't hurt Wardlow at all. This was a cakewalk for Wardlow. Like you said, it was a squash match.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that Wardlow looked great.
Oh yeah.
The crowd was definitely against MJF, and it definitely felt like real heat. Like people are mad about this.
Yeah.
As they should be. Like we talked about last night. You're under contract. If you think you're worth more, earn it, and then go ahead and earn it here or elsewhere. It doesn't matter. That being said, so the match ends. MJF gets stretchered out with oxygen.
We can't gloss over 10 power bombs this time.
Right.
Has to be the most I think he's hit anybody with. The most I think I've counted before was 7.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we counted to 10.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a lot.
It definitely was. But so the reason I jumped to the stretcher out part is, honestly, to me, it feels like them writing him off TV.
Yep. And I said the same thing last night. I said, I think they're gonna squash him and write him off TV for a bit. Whether this was the plan beforehand, we'll see. Maybe we never will, but definitely seemed like he was punished. 10 power bombs was a lot. Crowd was chanting "You deserve it" as he was being stretchered off. They even put an oxygen mask on him. I thought that was a nice touch. The oxygen mask.
Yeah, they put it on upside down.
Yeah, put it on upside down,
which was really funny. But so I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens this Wednesday if we see MJF at all. I don't think we're going to. I mean, I guess we're just kind of at a point now where we need to see: is he taking time off? Was it a shoot? Is he like just gone? He doesn't want to be here anymore. I guess time will tell. I mean, it's kind of sad. It kind of sucks because MJF has a lot of potential and a lot of talent, and I do see him as a future world champion within the next few years.
Yeah.
And the problem is that like I understand he wants the world, but he's only 25.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's great now, but give it some more time, and he could have been a lot better than he is. So it definitely sucks, and it's sad to see. But so yeah, he gets stretchered off, and we have to assume that that's the last we're going to see of him. Maybe forever in AEW, maybe for a few weeks, maybe he shows up on Wednesday. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a forever type of deal. I just don't know, man. I don't see him ever not being in AEW.
Yeah.
It's always felt like he's a lifer, even with the bidding war in 2024 thing he's been saying. Like, I just had this feeling of like he's a lifer, so we'll see what happens.
No, I definitely agree with you. It doesn't seem right. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess at the end of the day, the money's going to talk. But I don't think Tony Khan had a problem paying MJF what he wanted. I just think he needed to extend his contract.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's what it comes down to, that's what it comes down to. So in terms of predictions, we have the first one of the night where somebody falls short on this one.
Yeah.
And that would be you. So, we did discuss if MJF didn't show up, you were going to lose a point.
Yeah.
So luckily for you, he showed up.
At least I didn't lose a point.
But you picked him to win, so you don't get the point. However, me and Forrest and I, we both picked Wardlow.
Yep.
So Forrest and I are currently tied in the lead with 2 points. Okay.
Brian Alvarez just tweeted out, CM Punk has requested we all remind him to never try the buckshot lariat again.
We'll talk about it. I thought
I thought that was on purpose. but we'll go.
I think the first one. No, I actually don't think it was on purpose. I think he just messed up, but that's okay. Anyway, so what was next?
All right, so next up, we had a super kick party.
Super kick fiesta.
Fiesta,
as I called it.
I thought that this was awesome. We had the Bucks versus the Hardys here. We've all wanted this match for a long time. The Bucks come out with a song that was very similar to Viva Las Vegas, but it was Super Kick Party, and I was absolutely loving it. That song was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah. Well, you're a Vegas native, so I'm sure you got a kick out of that.
Yeah,
as soon as they started doing it, I was like, oh, Jeff's loving this.
Yeah, what's up, 182? Yeah, it will come. Beats with teeth. What's up, man? All that was missing was the CM Punk heel turn. Oh, yeah, we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Yeah, it's coming.
No, listen, we had to. Tonight is an emotional night for CM Punk. It's an emotional night for the fans who waited for him all these years. So, like I said yesterday on the stream, there was no way that he was going to turn heel tonight. Like, I just, even when Hangman grabbed the belt, I'm like, there's no way Punk's using that tonight.
Nope. So I thought this was a great match. We had Caprice Coleman on commentary. Dude, this was just a super back and forth. Just one team took control, next team took control. They just kept going back and forth the whole match. I really enjoyed this match. A few people on Twitter said it was a little bit of an awkward match. I didn't really feel that at all. I thought it was just a normal Bucks and Hardys match. I don't think it was anything like super spectacular. You know, we didn't have any sort of table spots, no ladders, no chairs. But it was a decent match. I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
No, I don't think anything was wrong with it necessarily. I thought it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was more so. I feel like the Bucks kind of carried the Hardys through that, and it's just a product of the Hardys being at their age. I mean, I think the Bucks came out here with the typical young Bucks 5-star mentality, and I just don't know if the Hardys can really produce that. I thought that the Hardys did a great job tonight, but I mean, I would say the Bucks definitely carried them through this match, and definitely made the Hardys look fantastic. This was a great match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there was a really good spot in this match I liked where Jeff was about to get the hot tag to Matt, and Brandon Cutler sweeped Matt's feet out from under him on the outside. Mm-hmm. I love Cutler, man. He's probably my favorite geek in the entirety of wrestling. Huge whisper in the wind from Jeff. I don't know if anyone noticed this, but both of his boots came undone during this match, and I think that's why 182 Jeff felt very off from right after his first or second move in the match. Both of his boots, the zippers blew out on his boots, and he was just basically wrestling with floppy boots on the whole time. And that was pretty impressive to me, honestly. Like I was surprised they didn't stop and try to fix them or something, but
I was really concerned for him because he's still trying to do his spots, and I was talking to you during the show, and his boots are just undone. So I don't know what happened there where both of them came undone at the same time, but so that was kind of what happened, and once he got his boots kind of situated, I thought that they did a pretty good job.
I really enjoyed the Bucks hitting the Twist of Fate and the Swanton and only getting the 2 count. And then right after that, we had a super kick fiesta, like you said, man. The Bucks must have kicked them 4 or 5 times each, right in the face.
Brutal.
That was brutal. Still only get a 2 count. And then we got Jeffrey Nero Hardy hitting the Swanton on the steps. This was absolute perfection.
Yeah, it was great.
There was no way to do it safer, to do it any better. That was one of the most absolutely perfect Swantons I've ever seen. They throw, I think it was Nick that took that one, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they throw Nick back in the ring, hit him with the finisher, Twist of Fate, another Swanton, and the Hardys win. I was actually shocked that the Hardys won this match.
That was
not expecting it, but I think did I pick them?
We all picked the
Bucks.
We all picked the Bucks. There's no point here.
Yeah, no point here.
But no, I was really surprised by the ending. I mean, it was awesome to see the Hardys get the win. Again, I really enjoyed this match. This kind of felt like, for me, this felt like the fun part of the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the Wardlow MJF thing, like Wardlow came out looking great, and that's important. But I didn't enjoy it that much just because of, how we don't know what's going on with MJF. We don't know if this is it for him. Like, clearly he went out there first to do the job so he can get out of Vegas. Like, clearly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on a plane before the end of the show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So, you know, for me, this was kind of this felt like the opener of the pay-per-view for me personally. In terms of, okay, now we can enjoy the night.
Yeah.
And it was a great match. I mean, you know, I would say it's like a 4.5 if I were to give it a rating out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable, but again, I think the Bucks went out there ready to try to put a 5-star match on, and you know,
and
I don't know if the Hardys could do it at this point.
I did sort of see what you meant at 182 about Jeff before the match. Like, when he was giving people high fives, he was kind of just like touching their hands. That seemed a little odd to me, but it also seemed like he might be transforming his character into like Brother Nero or something. But I did notice that as well. Do we think they're gonna go for the tag titles, the Bucks, or I'm sorry, the Hardys? I don't know. I think they know that we see how old they look. It's possible that they go after it, you know, but I don't think they're gonna win them by any chance. But it is possible that they go after them, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's too many great tag teams in AEW. You know, the roster, the division is just so strong. I don't know who you have like the Hardys beat to get them.
Yeah,
you know?
there would just be almost no believable scenario for them to beat the champs, whoever they may be at the time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
definitely,
anything's possible. It's the Hardys, you know. So
yeah.
Now, normally on the pay-per-views, we don't talk about the promos, but Billy Gunn in the hotel room with the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys passed out was one of the funniest things I think I have ever seen. So Billy Gunn is kind of like doing a video on his cell phone, and he goes into the hotel room, and both of the Acclaimed and both of the Ass Boys are just sprawled out, unconscious. One of the Ass Boys is in the bathtub, and oh my god, this was just hilarious.
He takes the blanket off of Colton and puts it on Max. And then Bowens is sitting there like passed out like this. And he's like, "You beautiful boy." You.
Yeah.
I love the Acclaimed. I love the Acclaimed so much, and I think mixing them with the Gun Club has been like phenomenal. It's just been excellent. It's been really good segments, and it's gonna give the Acclaimed something to do while Bowens is on the shelf. So I'm all for it, and yeah, this was really fun. This was really, really fun.
And I have to agree. Like, when I first saw the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys getting put together, I was kind of like, why? But immediately, the chemistry is just there with those dudes. It just immediately is funny. Yeah. I love it. All right, so next up was Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. Finally, we get to use the Cody Vader again. Jade comes up from the Cody Vader with a bunch of Vegas showgirls lining the ramp. I thought this was a great entrance. Anna Jay got her old music back in her entrance, so that was nice. I thought this was a decent match. It did what it needed to do. Jade looked good. Anna Jay looked good. Yeah, I thought it was just a great serviceable female match, and it set up what we were hoping was going to happen, set up Statlander versus Jade. Jade hit that Jaded from the top rope. That looked really nasty. Gets the pin, 1, 2, 3, and out comes the baddies. The baddies start trying to beat down Anna Jay, but Statlander shows up, and there we go. We got the next challenger to the TBS title with Statlander. I really, 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 really hope she's the one to take this off of Jade. She's over. She looks great. Her in-ring skills are top-notch. 32-0 that's plenty for Jade. There's no reason to push it to 40 or 50. I think it's a good person to hand that belt over to.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this was a really fun match. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought that, nothing against Jade or Anna. I thought that this was going to kind of be one of those filler matches to kind of make the length of the pay-per-view go a little bit longer because they were worried about the NBA game, which in hindsight, they didn't actually have to worry about it. It ended around 11:20. But, I mean, I thought this was really good. I think Jade looked really impressive in this match.
Yep.
Anna looked really good too. There was actually some points where I feel like this was the first match that Jade's had where there was some back and forth to it.
Yeah.
I feel like in most of Jade's matches, there's never really been a point where it's like, oh, Jade might lose this one.
Yeah.
Like, even against Marina Shafir, like, I think they tried to book that match like there was some possibility,
Yeah.
but it never at no point felt like it.
No.
But it was really impressive. Yeah, I mean, Anna, there were some points where I was like, oh, maybe Anna is going to win this.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. But yeah, it was really good. And at the end of the match, we got some debuts.
Oh, that was so good. So it was 2v3. They had the baddies with Jade, and we had just Statlander and Anna Jay. And then I've never heard this music before. Never, ever heard it before. But the instant that I heard that music, I shouted Athena. I don't know how I knew. I don't know why, but I didn't even predict this at all. I had no idea she was showing up. But that music hit, and I was like, Athena! And we do have Athena showing up to AEW. We also got the graphic. She is all elite. If you don't know who Athena is, she is formerly known as Ember Moon over in NXT and WWE. This is an absolutely amazing addition to the women's roster. Just top 10 women wrestler in the world as far as I'm concerned. She's the Warrior Women's Champion right now. She took that from Thunder Rosa, I believe. So I'm super, super happy about this signing.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was great, and it's great that Jade has some new representation, it seems like, as well.
Oh, yeah, Malcolm Bivens, or formerly Malcolm Bivens. What did they name him here? Stokely Hathaway. I like the name change. The name change like really fits him. You look at him, he like looks like a Stokely Hathaway. I wonder if it's his real name. I don't know.
I thought it was interesting because it's kind of funny because MJF's on his way out, it seems like, but this guy apparently is either close with MJF or people were assuming he was going to work with MJF upon when he left NXT.
Okay.
That's just what I had seen. I heard some rumblings. I don't know if maybe they had history on the Indies or something like that. That was just something I had, chatter that I had seen.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
We'll see what happens. So in that match, all three of us picked Jade Cargill.
Yep.
So right now the score is 3 for Forrest, 2 for you, and 3 for me.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got the Death Triangle versus House of Black. Just wow. I mean, wow.
Yeah. This is if we take the emotional impact of Punk out of the main event, this was my match of the night.
Yeah.
This was a 5-star match where everybody just completely brought it in this match. I'm a huge House of Black fan. Really like Death Triangle too. I like everyone that's in this match. And yeah, these guys brought it from their entrances to their look. Their aesthetic was on point tonight. The action was on point tonight. This was just a really well done. This is a 5-star match in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
If I'm rating matches, which I don't really do, but for the pay-per-views, I try to put my thoughts into some sort of rating. I would say 5 stars. This is a 5-star match. This was excellent.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat for pretty much the whole time. And that ending, man, it finally happened. We finally got the Black Heart. Yeah.
So, real quick, I got to mention the entrance for Penta and the Death Triangle. Penta's son comes out dressed as his dad. I freaking love that little kid, man. That little kid looks so cool dressed up in full Penta gear. He even does the Cero Miedo. I love it. So, yeah, we get the House of Black finishing or winning this match. I was not expecting this win. Basically, Pac goes up for the Falcon Arrow, I think he calls it now, or
the Black Arrow.
The Black Arrow, he calls it now. Yeah. Lights go out, and lights come back on, and Julia Hart is standing face to face with Pac, and she blasts him right in the face with the Black Mist. Pac goes down. Malachi Black hits him with the Black Mass and gets the win. And Julia Hart stands tall with the House of Black, no eye patch on, and she's got the same black eye with the little lightning bolts coming out of it that Malachi Black has. So.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy that Julia's there. I mean, we've been talking about it leading up to it. Everything she's done since this transformation started, like she's really killed it. She's done a fantastic job and. Like she looked great. She looked great tonight. I'm so excited for her. I'm so happy to see her really get going. And this is big. This is really big for the House of Black, and I'm excited. This was the problem because I bet you that they had this match booked for probably Revolution.
Yes.
And then Phoenix got hurt right before Revolution.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that for everybody who thought the Julia Hart storyline was dragging too long. They meant it to happen a while ago, but when Phoenix bent his elbow backwards, in Newark, we were there. It delayed everything quite a bit, and it made it seem like it was getting dragged out a little bit. But
Of course,
we got the payoff, and it was freaking awesome. I loved it.
it fucking happened in New Jersey.
Yeah, of course it happened in New Jersey.
It's always New Jersey. But yeah, 182 saying many people complained that the feud was too long. I'm glad they did. Glad they did that match again with Phoenix on board. Perfect ending for this feud with Julia.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Like, he nailed
Absolutely,
it. He
yeah.
completely crushed it there. That was, yeah, it was awesome. Like, I absolutely loved it. It was, again, I have a bias about what my favorite thing of the night was, but this is, second best. This is second of the night.
I mean, this match, I couldn't even write anything down when it came to notes. It was just like boom, boom, boom. There was just
all the spots. They got every guy in this, and here's the other thing. So again, I don't want to touch on the MJF thing, and we'll probably touch on it a few times.
Yeah.
MJF leaving sucks, but like there was 50 other people on this card tonight who fucking crushed it. I don't think there was anybody really who gave a bad performance tonight, who didn't look good exactly. I thought every match at the very least was good. But yeah, so it's like there's these 6 guys. They're going to have no problem. If anything, again, it just clears up more space where we can get someone, we can spread it out a little bit. And that's assuming that they don't sign anybody in the next 5 months, which, come on.
Yeah.
They're going to sign somebody. But in terms of the predictions, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, we were good on that one.
Okay. So, in terms of the predictions, Forrest chose Death Triangle. You and I both chose the House of Black.
All right.
So, there is a lead.
Yes, you should be in the lead.
I am in the lead with 4 points, and you and Forrest both are tied with 3 points.
Yes. All right. So next up, we had the finals of the men's Owen Hart tournament. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, baby. I'm gonna say this every match, but what a freaking match, man! This match was absolutely amazing. I don't know if anybody enjoys wrestling Samoa Joe. His chops, like, they knock you off your feet. Like, when he was chopping Adam Cole, it was literally knocking Cole off his feet onto his ass. They have to hurt so bad. But just absolutely great match. Little bit of interference by Bobby Fish there. I mean, a lot of bit of interference by Bobby Fish there. How do you feel about this finals having some interference?
Well, excuse me. I think that it made sense. I think that you kind of still want to protect Joe. So I was fine with it. It wasn't egregious enough where I was like upset about it. Okay. But again, I mean, I'm not worried about Joe necessarily. I think he's going to be fine. This is a really great match regardless. And, I mean, we still want the Undisputed Elite to be that. Yeah. I was glad that it wasn't Jay Lethal that got involved. I would have been more upset if it was Jay Lethal that had gotten involved. Yeah, me too. But, excuse me. Nice. Yeah, I thought it was great. Thought it was an excellent match. It was a really fun match.
I actually thought it made sense that he got involved. These guys are heels. They're not hiding the fact that they're heels. Right. They all interfere in each other's matches pretty much every single time.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I see how people might have been a little like, hey, this shouldn't have happened in the finals, but look at the character. It was supposed to happen. Like, it always happens with the Elite, so.
Yeah, again, I wasn't super bothered by it. I would have been much more upset if it was Jay Lethal or Sanjay Dutt or Satnam Singh, because at that point, it's like, why are we doing this? Like, I understand they're feuding, but that would have bothered me. Yeah. But again, it's the Undisputed Elite. They're a heel group. And yeah, that's what they do. So, I mean, I'm not going to get super upset about some of that stuff happening.
Yep.
In terms of predictions, we all picked Adam Cole. So we were all correct. So currently, once again, it's you and Forrest with 4 points, myself with 5 points.
All right.
Holding on by a thread.
All right, so next up was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Ruby Soho for the Women's Owen Hart Cup Finals. Rich Ward from Fozzy gets to play the guitar for Britt Baker while she's coming to the ring. I think a few of us were kind of like, who the heck is that guy? And then we all figured it out.
Yeah, I recognized it first. I was like, I think it's the guy from Fozzy.
Yeah. And then Ruby Soho gets Rancid to play her to the ring, and they played the full freaking song, man. That crowd got themselves pretty much a mini Rancid concert. That was pretty cool. Great match, man. The crowd was super into this match. We got huge, Ruby Soho DMD chants back and forth. Great match, man. What did you think?
Great match, hampered by the ending.
Hampered by the ending.
Hampered by the booking. See, the problem is that, again, we'll talk about the predictions in a few seconds, but my prediction and your prediction as well went into the fact that we both picked Ruby Soho to win this.
Yeah.
The reason being because since Ruby's gotten here, she's been here for about 10 months, 11 months, I think.
No problem. 182. You have yourself a good night, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for checking us out again. We appreciate it. But so yeah, I just think that Ruby Soho hasn't won a match of importance in her entire run here in AEW. And the fact that she lost to Britt Baker again, like, this is very similar to what happened with Bray Wyatt in WWE, where it's just like, I love Bray Wyatt, but like, how can you believe that Bray Wyatt's going to beat anybody if every single feud and every single match he's losing every match? And this is what's happening to Ruby Soho now. So moving forward, I as a fan can't take Ruby Soho seriously as a threat. How can I?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't win any of her feuds. The only matches that she wins are these trios matches on Elevation, these tag matches on Elevation. So like, she's not going to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
Which sucks because she's really talented and she's really good. And I thought it was bad booking. I don't have a problem with Britt winning the Owen, but then don't put Ruby in the tournament. Or have her lose, or I don't even know, maybe even having her lose earlier in the tournament makes it better. Having her come all the way to the finals. Number one, you have her beat Statlander, which got heat. So you're already booking yourself into a hole there. And then to get her to this finals with Britt and have Britt win, and it wasn't even really a great win. It was like a roll up, I believe.
Yeah, it was a roll up.
Which I'm okay with roll ups. I really am. I think roll ups are fine, to an extent. Especially when they're not just simple like schoolboys or whatever. But man, like this was probably one of the low points of the night for me. Not because of the match. I thought the match was really good, but it's just like, what are we doing with Ruby Soho?
Yeah.
Like, what's next for her? And whatever is next for her, it's not doing it for me. We got a comment in the chat, John Cream saying, I know you guys aren't there yet, but did you think that CM Punk falling on the buckshot lariat was planned, or did Punk just botch the whole match? It was decent, but Punk seemed off/old.
I thought he planned the mess up on the buckshot. To me, the way that he fell down, I thought it looked planned.
Yeah, it seemed kind of weird. I mean, because it seemed like he fell and instantly went to his knees. It's not like he stumbled. It's like his legs gave out both times. And I don't know. So,
and I got to say, I did not think that he looked old. I thought he looked like he belonged in there with Hangman. I could see where, like, I don't know. I didn't see any botches, really. I don't know. I could see how maybe that buckshot kind of made people like, oh, crap, he botched that. But I don't think it was a botch. I actually think he planned it.
Yeah. Well, Punk was selling a leg injury, and so was Hangman. These guys, like, really tore the house down. Yeah. We're not there yet. We'll talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But I think Punk looked great tonight. I didn't think he looked... And again, like, sure, there's bias. I'm currently wearing a CM Punk shirt and a CM Punk hat. So, like, I get it. I do. There is some bias here, but...
We're definitely biased. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he looked old to the point where you would be like, why are they putting the belt on him?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I mean, you got to look at the record that this guy's had on TV even leading up to this match. This guy's had 5-star matches on TV with Penta and Dax and all the other guys he's had great matches with. So I'm not super concerned about it. And no problem, John. Glad. Thanks for commenting. Keep it up.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
But anyway, so yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the Ruby Soho losing this match. Obviously, in hindsight, I figured that Britt was gonna win as soon as they had both the belts out on the one table. I was like, shit. It's like they're not gonna have Adam Cole and Ruby Soho standing up there. Like, it's just not gonna make sense. But so yeah, I mean, so it definitely hurts Ruby's stock for me.
So here's my thing where I totally get how she's lost all of her major matches and all of that. I think that is the plan. I think that's the point. I think they are trying to get Ruby to hit absolute rock bottom, and I think she's going to change her character. She has been the same punk rock leather jacket, spike studs since I have ever seen her. She's been that same character. I really think Ruby needs... Now that I'm thinking about it, though, the Ruby Soho song is not going to let her change her character.
No.
So maybe not change a character, but I do think she needs like some sort of a change in her like attitude, or maybe we get like this really cool buildup of her being like, I've hit rock bottom. I got to do something to fix this. Maybe she goes to Danielson or the Blackpool Combat Club for something, like someone to help her out. And I actually see her getting a title shot later on, and not against the TBS championship. I think she's gonna face Thunder Rosa sometime in the future, but after they build her back up. So like, remember when Anna Jay lost to Jade and then she just went on a 15 match winning streak like they said in the match? I think we may get something like that with Ruby, where Ruby's hitting rock bottom. We're gonna get a vignette on Wednesday or Friday of like, she just can't win the big match, and then we should get a story from it. If we don't, then absolutely I'm with you that this was bad booking, and right. But in AEW, Let It Play Out has never failed me.
No, absolutely
never failed me.
No.
So,
and again, Tony Khan's not always going to get it right, but at least the effort's made, and I appreciate that at the very least.
Yeah.
I don't think a changing character is necessarily needed for Ruby Soho, but if we're going to build her back up, she's got to win some meaningful singles matches.
Yes.
I don't want to see her, like, I'm all for building her up, because again, I really like Ruby, but if we're going to build her up, it needs to be singles matches. She needs to beat Nyla Rose in a singles match.
Yes, absolutely.
She needs to beat, these other heels on the roster in singles competition.
Yep.
Maybe even kind of get involved with the baddies again, and do Kiera Hogan or something. So I don't know. Get some matches up, build some clout. Because it's like right now, like I don't have it. I would rate Ruby Soho very low.
Oh, yeah.
On the ladder of women that, like, in terms of this top girls.
I would say, like, if they showed us the rankings, I bet you Ruby is like not even on the rankings.
No, she's definitely not.
Towards the bottom. Now, that even gives me another idea for what I was saying. They could start showing us those rankings again and put her at the bottom and make a point of showing, look at Ruby at the bottom, like hitting rock bottom. So,
yeah, we'll see.
I think we could get something out of it.
Yeah. In terms of predictions, we both chose Ruby Soho. Forrest chose Britt Baker, so he gets a point. He and I are currently tied in first place with 5
All right.
points.
So after this, we get Martha Hart on stage with a wonderful speech. She gets to present the belts to each winner. These belts were absolutely gorgeous. The men's belt being black and pink, the female's belt being, I think it was pink and black, so kind of a opposite color scheme there. Both of those belts were just absolutely gorgeous, and they were, the middle plate was modeled after one of Owen's belts from back in the day.
Yep, the Stampede Wrestling.
The Stampede Wrestling belt, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a really awesome moment, and it was a great moment to see it happen the way it did. I think Tony Khan handled it with complete class. I thought it was a great touch, him walking Martha Hart out to the stage. Martha's speech was awesome. It was just, it's great to see Owen finally be remembered, It was an awful thing that happened, and, he was one of the best wrestlers of all time, and he, his legacy might not show that because it was cut short, but, it's just great to see that he's going to be remembered, and
absolutely.
I don't blame Martha for not letting the Fed be the ones to do it. So, and that should tell you all you need to know. The fact that AEW was able to make this happen. Martha Hart has been so protective of Owen and his legacy, and to see her not only endorse him, being mentioned in name, but having a tournament to, the shirts, everything, man. And it was a beautiful moment. John Cream in the chat again saying AEW fans really made him proud, making Martha feel so amazing with love for her husband and the foundation. Yeah, man, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. Like, it instantly made me forget about the bad booking of the Ruby Soho loss. But yeah, it was awesome. The belts look really cool. I don't know if Britt and Cole are going to carry them around, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really great moment.
Yeah, and one of the things that ran through my mind was, if you've ever followed this story throughout the years, you know how much Martha like refused to give Owen's name to anybody who wasn't just like passionate about wrestling and real fans of wrestling. And to see the smile on her face and how she actually, like, this was legitimate, like her enjoying this for the foundation. It's not her getting a payday. Like,
yeah, this
fucking jobber, you go fuck yourself, bro. I saw you say that shit on Twitter. He said it was a money grab by her. No way, dude. Like, she chose AEW for a reason, because Tony Khan is the real deal. He is a wrestling fan for life, and he cares about wrestling.
Yeah, there was genuine happiness from everyone involved here. Yeah. You know, from Martha to Tony, everybody involved. Like, this wasn't about money.
No.
This is about legacy. You know, like, if anything, I mean, like, I don't mean this in a critiquing way, but if anything, the Owen tournament really took up a lot of TV time.
It did,
and
yeah.
in the long run, it hurt some of the storylines that AEW is currently doing. So this is not something that they did for money or anything like that. They did it to honor Owen's legacy. Yeah. And you know what? They still managed to pull off these storylines despite the lack of TV time.
Yeah.
And again, that's not me hating on the tournament or any of that. It's the facts. It hurt a lot of the storytelling. The Thunder Rosa story had no time. You know, the tag team titles were limited. You know, the Owen tournament took up a lot of time.
Yeah, I would even say it took a little bit of the Julia Hart story up too. Yeah. That they could have kept pushing. You know,
absolutely. I would say in the future, I would say like next year, because we're gonna have the Owen again next year. I would assume seemed like a big success. I would have the qualifiers on Dark and Elevation.
Yes, the qualifiers. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then like the semifinal, quarterfinals, throw them on to Dynamite and Rampage. But next year, let the qualifiers be on Elevation. It'll give people reason to watch Elevation too. Yeah, because there is some good stuff on Elevation. You just gotta be motivated to watch it sometimes, because there is a lot of enhancement matches. You know.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to like tournaments in sports like this, like wrestling and MMA, I want these tournaments to be a one-night event. So if anyone remembers, way back in the day, there was called Pride Fighting. It was the rival to the UFC over in Japan. And when they did their tournaments, the whole tournament happened in one night. So there'd be 8 guys. They would all fight, and then whoever won, they would go fight next, and then they would go fight again. So they would fight 3 times in one night to win the championship. And if you happen to get injured, sorry, we got backups waiting to go. You know, I would like to see maybe the Owen Hart tournament become a one-night either special show on a Saturday or maybe its own pay-per-view.
I would definitely be down for that too.
Yeah.
I think it would be a great idea. I mean, I think we pitched it on a previous episode of the podcast where I'd be down for like a King of the Ring style pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see it, AEW does 4 pay-per-views a year. Mm-hmm. Let's say Forbidden Door becomes an ongoing show. Let's say the Owen becomes its own show too.
I think
you have 4 main pay-per-views and then 2 side pay-per-views. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
I think 6, because at that point you're looking at maybe like, obviously it'll probably be spread out a little bit better, but like 1 pay-per-view every 2 months I think is a really sweet spot.
And you could even turn the Owen Hart Cup into a somewhat of a Forbidden Door as well by having people come from wherever.
Absolutely. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, great moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The belts look gorgeous. Adam Cole and Britt Baker up there look really good together. I know a lot of people didn't want to see them both win, but like I said, let it play out has never failed us. The Garganos are coming back to wrestling soon. That's gonna be a thing. Just wait. It will pay off.
Yep.
All right. So next up, we had the dreaded trios match with Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, and Frankie Kazarian. Oh wait, did we do our?
Yeah, we did the
we
Ruby
did that.
Soho.
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah, we're good.
Versus the Men of the Year or American Top Team, whatever you'd like to call them right now. I was not excited for this match. The build and everything has just been super cringe. We all hate Sammy and Ty. Well, can't say all, because there are a few people that have been into them, but
the crowd definitely wasn't.
The crowd was not. Now, I have to say, the payoff that we got at the end of this match, to me, made it all worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
All the shit that we had to sit through of Ty and Sammy shoving their tongues in each other's mouths and all that terrible shit, seeing Sammy Guevara super kick Ty in the face made my fucking night. And I don't know if anybody else agrees with this, but I thought that was the best single spot of the night.
Oh yeah, it was an excellent spot seeing Sammy super kick Ty and just knock her out. That was great. So yeah, I mean, this has been a really bad storyline in AEW. It's probably going to go down probably the second worst storyline I think of all time in my opinion so far. The first being the Nightmare Collective. Yeah, man. But this match, for all intents and purposes, was pretty damn good. I think Paige Van Zant looked green, but it's her first match.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what you were expecting. I mean, clearly that's why you have a trios match, so that way a lot of it's taken off of her. But I think that, you know, she looked good enough. I thought it was... I love the dynamic continuing to, you know, kind of blow up between Kazarian and Sammy.
Yeah.
America Top Team are doing great. I love the spot where Ethan Page is like, oh, I can finally get my hands on you, and he's just pummeling Sammy. Like, there was a lot of great spots in this match that, again, a really bad rivalry with a really good blow-off match where it was a good match, and there was a lot of spots that we earned through the story. I'm a little annoyed about the predictions because so leading up to the match, they said that if America's Top Team won, then Sammy and Kazarian can never challenge for the TNT title again. Period. That's what they said. So we did the prediction show, and I chose Ty, Sammy, and Kazarian because I'm thinking, like, there's no way they're going to make that mistake again because they made that mistake with Cody, and there's no way that they're going to do that. There's just no way. And then all of a sudden we're watching the pay-per-view, and it's like, they can never challenge
Scorpio. Skies.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. God damn it.
What's funny is when they announced it first, I was like, I'm pretty sure that they only mean Scorpio Sky's title. Like, in my head, I said that. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what they mean. And sure enough, they corrected it tonight. And...
So you and Forrest both chose America's Top Team to win.
So Forrest takes the lead.
So Forrest takes the lead with 6 points. And we're both tied with 5.
All right.
See, I'm mad that he's not here because of, you know, he made life choices. But if he wins, he's not here. I'm gonna be a little. You know, at the end of the day, I don't care. CM Punk won the world title, so that's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some merch tonight, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. Now,
as soon as they release the shirts,
If you guys didn't see the show tonight, if you haven't seen it yet, go to our Twitter, Broken Table Show. I posted a clip of Sammy Guevara super kicking Ty Conti in the face. Put it on repeat. Just set it down. It's all good. All right. So next up, we had Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin, and I mean, this was as good as everybody would have thought it was going to be. Darby Allin's just a maniac. He tries to kill himself in just about every match. His first dive through the bottom rope, I don't know if he caught his knees on the bottom rope or what, but it caused him to do a front flip, and it made him kick Kyle O'Reilly instead of dive into him. Mm-hmm. I thought it was amazing. Everyone said it was a botch, which it probably was, but I thought it looked freaking awesome because it caused him to do a front flip, and he wound up kicking him. I thought it was great.
This was a match that really surprised me, not because of the talent involved. Like, I knew that the talent involved was talented, but this match was kind of added last minute because they were worried about the timing of the NBA game. Again, that was a big talking point for Tony Khan. It was something that was really important to him. He didn't want the main event to go on while the basketball game was still going on. So this match was added. It was probably going to be a buy-in match, I feel like. And I don't know if maybe that made these guys really want to get in, like really, like, let's have a fucking banger. But like, man, these guys had an excellent match. This was fantastic. Excuse me, fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, within what was it, a minute, Darby was laying on his back and he coughed and blood like erupted out of his mouth like a volcano. I don't know if he busted his lip. I don't know if he bit his tongue or his cheek or maybe a tooth got dislodged in there. But he had a decent amount of blood in his mouth, and the way that he coughed and it like flew up out of his mouth, dude, I was like, oh.
Yeah, definitely agree with him in the chat. Advogado saying he was surprised with the result of the match.
Oh yeah,
but it was great. Yeah, I was shocked by I can't believe Kyle O'Reilly won this match. Into the predictions we go. You and I both chose Darby Allin, and that son of a bitch, Forrest.
Oh my God,
he chose Kyle O'Reilly, so he's currently ahead by 2 points at 7, and we're both at 5. Man, I'm defending this title, and it's not going well. But I'm hanging in there as best I can.
Yeah.
But no, this is an excellent match, super fun. Had a great time with it, and it was.
Yeah,
it was a blast.
I was super surprised at the result of this match as well, especially considering we could almost say Darby has been booked similar to Ruby. He has lost a lot of his important matches lately. This is just now like popping into my head. He has lost quite a few of his last big matches that are not involving Sting. I can't remember a singles match he's won in the past couple months.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure he's won some. I mean,
sure.
He beat Andrade, didn't he?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he beat Andrade.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not super worried about Darby. I think Darby's not on the same level as Ruby.
No.
They're like, it's the 4 pillars.
Yeah.
Those guys have been booked and protected so well that it's okay if Darby loses a match. If MJF is going to be back, it's okay that what happened tonight happened. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, these guys are going to be fine no matter what. Their booking is way too strong for that to be an issue.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, Kyle O'Reilly takes the win. Shocking to me, but apparently not Forrest. That's bastard.
Well, the thing is, he tries to outthink us, but sometimes that backfires. Last time backfired. So far, it's helping him, but we'll see how it shakes out. We're not done yet.
Yeah, he beat Andrade in the coffin match. Thank you. All right, so next up was Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. Thunder Rosa's gear is awesome every single time she comes out, man. I absolutely love her gear. Unfortunately, her headgear wasn't staying on properly, so she had to come out holding it up. Looked a little odd for her to be walking down the ramp, holding her hat on, but it is what it is. This was an absolutely banging match.
This is excellent. This is another excellent one where, again, the build-up was so bad for it.
Yeah.
So bad, but it was just a great match. Like, what a blast.
Yeah.
What an excellent match.
This is actually my other 5-star match on the card, besides the trios with the House of Black. These two just put on an absolute women's wrestling clinic.
Yeah.
When Serena Deeb calls herself the professor of professional wrestling, that's just a perfect nickname for her. Rosa just always looks amazing. It's hard for her to look bad. The spot in this where Serena Deeb puts Thunder Rosa into a figure 4, and Rosa just sits up and slaps the shit out of her. And Deeb just sits back up and slaps the shit out of her, and they just went back and forth, just slapping the crap out of each other, man. I absolutely loved that spot. Another one of my favorite spots of the night. This match was great.
Yeah,
absolutely great.
I agree. John Cream in the chat, though, he didn't really enjoy Thunder Rosa's attire.
Really?
I thought it was a good look. I thought it was great. She's actually auctioning it off and donating the proceedings to to Uvalde.
Okay.
In Texas. I thought that was
Oh,
really
that's
nice.
right. It said it on her chest and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was inspired by it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool gesture.
I guess I can see that, John, how it might have been your least favorite gear. It was kind of like trying to continue the Day of the Dead paint into a gear form. Didn't really work too well, but she looked like Polka Dot Man to me. Like,
I get it. I do get it. I thought it was a decent look. Definitely not her best look, though. I would definitely agree. It wasn't the best ring gear she's worn.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
I like when she does the cowboy hat with the jacket.
Yeah.
But
we all chose Thunder Rosa for this one.
Yeah, we all picked Rosa.
The standings are the same, just +1.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they had a great match back and forth. Thunder Rosa finally hits her with the Fire Thunder Driver. She gets the 1, 2, 3, and moving on to her next opponent. I'm not too sure who that's going to be. No interference in this match, no shenanigans.
Nope.
So I don't think we continue this with Deeb at all. This was a clean win, and I don't see how this would keep going, do you?
No, and I don't know right now who's ready to take on Thunder Rosa.
Hikaru Shida is the only thing
She's not a heel, unless Hikaru Shida comes back as a heel.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. That's very interesting. I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, chat.
I think right now it's a very babyface heavy division right now.
It
Actually, if
is.
you take Britt out of there, you take Nyla Rose. Diamante is not ready to go for the title. Emi Sakura maybe does a one-off with her.
The bunny.
The bunny,
Give
maybe.
me the bunny.
I need to see the bunny do some more matches before she gets up there.
But chat, what do you guys think? Who do you guys see as Thunder Rosa's next opponent coming after this? It's a really good question. All right, so next up was Anarchy in the Arena match. And I don't think anybody had any idea what was going to happen here. But we got Anarchy in the Arena. And for my notes, I'm actually going to show you guys what I wrote for my notes here. That was literally all I could write was Jesus Christ.
It was, man, it was fucking wild. That was probably, like I said that the House of Black match was my favorite. This was my favorite match of the night. It was just...
This was the most...
It was just crazy. It was wild. They were all over the place. Yeah. They went places that I've never seen anyone ever go. Like, they were right under the hard cam. They threw someone into the fucking hard cam.
Dude, Danielson took Cool Hand Luke's face and smashed it into the camera on the hard cam.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But this was a crazy match with excellent spots. It was bloody. It was violent. It was brutal. It was everything you wanted it to be. At first I was very skeptical when they didn't do a Stadium Stampede. I really enjoyed those cinematic matches. This was just as good in a different way.
Yeah.
If they're not going to have Stadium Stampedes anymore, I hope that they keep having these Anarchy in the arenas. It was a super fun match. They were all over the place. Man, it was excellent. It was unique. It was violent. There was shout outs to the podcast. All over the place. 8 of them.
Eight of them.
I was so upset because I was... we have the predictions. Nobody gets points for the Broken Tables prediction because there were... I chose 4. I think you chose 5 and Forrest chose 6.
Yeah.
So there's no point for that.
No points.
No points.
Now, the match started out with Moxley's music playing as they all came down from separate areas of the arena. And the Jericho Appreciation Society decided they were all going to go meet them out in the crowd, which was great. Moxley's music did not stop playing for at least 5 minutes.
No.
And it was fan-freaking-tastic.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And, we were talking about it during the show. But so we get to a spot, right after the failed scooter spot, which Advogato mentions. I really wished it would have worked, too. That would have been fantastic. But so they get to a point where Jericho's like, the fucking soundboard. He breaks the soundboard and the music stops. And I just thought that was excellent. And I believe that was done to kind of tell everyone, okay, move on to the next part of the match.
Absolutely.
Which is genius. I thought that was brilliant. Like, that was a brilliant way to have everyone be on the same page and say, okay, well, now we need to move on to the next spots.
Yeah. And if you're trying to figure out what he means, so the music for Moxley was playing through a good 5 minutes of this match. Jericho picked up the soundboard and smashed Moxley with it, which, you heard that and the song stopped. So what he's saying is that was the signal to everybody that the next stage of this match is about to happen. So when the music stopped, that was a way for everybody to get a signal at once, because we had 10 guys out there. It's not easy for 10 guys to get a cue to do the next thing in the match. So that was just absolute genius work to use the music for the cue for the next part of the match. Brilliant. We didn't get to see where, but Daddy Magic got opened up really, really, really badly. And I think they showed us in a replay, it was Moxley with a fork.
Yeah.
And man, in that replay, that looked nasty. He hit him with that fork probably a good 8 or 9 times. And when I say he was cut open bad, like, he was pouring blood. His entire face was red. He wiped it off a few times and then was still covered in red again. So, he was okay. He disappeared for a while after, one of them table spots. But he did come back at the end of the match, kind of cross-eyed and blood caked all over his entire face. But we got about 7 or 8 tables involved in the match. I think only like 6.5, maybe 7 of them actually broke. Mm-hmm. But absolutely great shout out to the podcast. We always thank you guys for that when that happens.
Yeah.
Santana and Ortiz both going up a different side of a ladder, and both of them doing some frog splashes onto 2.0. I guess we can't really call them that anymore, but it's easier. This was great, man. I love this match. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many people are gonna really enjoy just the chaos that was going on. Because I mean, there was stuff happening off camera, and it was just absolute insanity.
Man, and that spot where Eddie Kingston comes back to the ring with the canister of oil of gasoline, and he's just like, the look on his face, like, I'm going to fucking murder Chris Jericho, and he just starts pouring on him and Danielson. Danielson's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? They start fighting, and it just goes all downhill for, Mox and everyone there. Yeah, John Cream in the chat. That was a little unsettling. It was weird, kind of weird seeing 3 of the JS members full of blood and the others having no blood. No, there were some guys on the other team that were busted up a little bit. Kingston was busted open.
Kingston,
Moxley, Danielson. I think his blood kind of ran a little light by the time that he was on the focus.
I'm thinking John might mean the other 2 members of JAS, like Jericho and Hager weren't bleeding.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think everybody needed to bleed.
Yeah, no,
there was plenty.
That's a little overkill.
Daddy Magic had plenty of blood for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it was a great match. It ends up with Hager and Jericho making Danielson pass out. We all chose the JAS to win this match, so we all got a point.
Yes. Fuck. Boris is winning this shit, ain't he? All right.
Well, we'll see. He may have made a gamble.
Yeah,
and that will affect him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, double or nothing, man.
All right.
Don't forget it.
So next up, we got another quick little promo. I do feel that this is necessary to mention because Andrade was talking about how he hated the AFO, he didn't like the name, and he thought those dudes were a bunch of losers. So he went out and hired himself a new business partner. He was called Rush El Toro Blanco. Never heard of this guy, never seen this guy, but according to Twitter, he's a badass.
Twitter was very excited. Just reading also in the chat real quick, even though it was about the last match, Advogado saying he thought that AEW would have wrestlers beat the sports entertainers. I think it's coming. I would expect Blood and Guts to be announced in a few weeks.
Yeah, and this was to build Eddie Kingston and Danielson to have a match. We've been kind of hinting at
they already kind of had him. I don't think that was that. I think that this was them trying to find a way for the wrestlers to lose this kind of match to the sports entertainers.
Okay.
And again, I think we're going to get Blood and Guts, and you're going to see Danielson and Kingston figure out their issues.
Okay.
But yeah, I also, again, John Cream in the chat, awesome storytelling with Danielson and Kingston. It's been kind of a long term, and AEW's really nails that long term storytelling. Dude, it's fantastic.
Some of these stories are 3 years long, man. Like it's just so perfect. I love it.
Yeah, but back to what we were talking about. I don't know much about Rush either, but Twitter seemed very excited in him. Yeah. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see. At first I was like, is that Jeff Cobb? And I had to like push my glasses up and I was like, no, that's not Jeff Cobb. But anybody in chat, if you guys know who that dude is, if you could tell me a match of his or anything like that, I'll definitely check it out later tonight, because people seem to like him on Twitter. So, and he looks like a monster. So.
Yeah, he looks like he can go. So
yeah,
let's see what happens.
All right, next up we got the AEW World Tag Team Championship 3-way. We got Swerve and Keith Lee, Swerve in Our Glory, versus Ricky Starks and Big Willie Hobbs against the tag team champions. Can we still call them Jurassic Express? I haven't heard them use that in a long time.
They haven't. I mean, if you say it, I'll understand what you're saying, but it is Jungle Boy and
Luchasaurus. Yeah, so I think once Marco Stunt disappeared, they got rid of that Jurassic Express name.
Yeah.
So this match was absolutely unbelievable. Again, these are just 6 of my favorite wrestlers in the ring right now. Like, Ricky Starks is just absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Jungle Boy has been great since the beginning.
Yeah.
Swerve, man. Swerve is quickly rising himself up my list of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Like, he's on my list right now with Danielson, Kenny Omega, Swerve, and Moxley. Like,
he's there's so much talent on this card, so much talent on this match. Like, it was it was an excellent match. It was, I mean, I don't even know what to say. At this point, I was kind of mentally preparing myself for the main event.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't have a lot, like, I didn't soak a lot of it in. But I mean, I definitely enjoyed what I remember seeing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth between the three teams. I still really hate the rule of in a three-way dance tag match that only two guys are in the ring.
Yeah.
I think the psychology of it makes no sense. Why would anybody ever tag out? So you always got to do those kind of like reaching where it's like up tag, like, you know what I mean? I would just have three guys in the ring and let them tag in and out.
Oh wait, he's the former Ring of Honor World Champion. Okay, it's kind of ringing a bell because I know I did the research on their old champions, but I don't think I've seen a match of his. I'll actually have to. I'm gonna have to check him out then. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great sign though. If he's an ROH World Champion.
Now, are you saying it's pronounced like Rush or Roosh?
No, it's probably Rush.
Rush. Or...
I would assume.
I don't know.
It's probably the crowd. That's how they address it. I would assume.
But this match, man, Swerve did his spot again, where he jumps off the top ropes and does a backflip off of Keith Lee's chest to do a moonsault on the outside. I love this spot so damn much. It might have replaced the Spanish Fly for me. The Spanish Fly was my favorite move / spot.
Mm-hmm.
This moonsault off of Keith Lee's chest is just one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, and I've seen it twice now.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great match. Avogado was worried about Ricky Starks landing on his neck. Yeah, he did have some neck issues in the past, but luckily it didn't seem to bother him too much.
When did he land on his neck? I might have missed it.
I don't recall. I'm just going off of what Avogado said.
Avo, what spot was that? When did that happen? I think I missed it.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to lie. I was getting mentally prepared for the main event at this point. But while Avogado gets back to us, the predictions... Oh, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You did it. You picked Starks and Hobbs.
I did.
This is pretty much effectively taking you out of the running, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
But Forrest and I'm still chasing them. We both picked Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, so we both get the point. Forrest is currently at 10 points, and I'm currently at 8 points. So we'll have to see how this shakes out. I've done the math and I figured it out at this point.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. We'll get into it.
We'll figure that out.
Oh man, I'm so happy the way it turned out.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we got a really good finishing spot here. Keith Lee and Swerve hit their huge finisher. That is one of my favorite finishers right now, especially in the tag team scene. I absolutely love that. So I believe it's just a big power bomb and a double foot stomp coup de grace type thing. Woo! Tona Rojo, thank you very much for the subscribe.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and my notes are failing me here. I can't read my own thing. What happened after that double foot stomp?
After the double foot stomp.
So how did they come in and get the win there? How did they retain?
There was a lot of false finishes
yes.
where we thought Jungle Boy was gonna lose.
There we go. Yeah.
And eventually, I think Swerve clears Team Taz out of the ring.
Yes.
And then they do their Jurassic Express finisher. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. What is that?
He throws him up in the air, and Jungle Boy catches him and power bombs him down. And Jungle Boy ends up picking up the win for the team, retaining the tag titles. I think that the title change is coming. Just not yet. Avogado says right before Keith Lee and Swerve chest.
Yeah, right before the chest thing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but he seemed fine to finish the match. I haven't really been on Twitter, so I haven't really heard anything. Yeah, the media scrum would be going on right now, but we'll dissect that and post. We'll figure that out, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I didn't expect the champs to retain here. I really didn't.
It just wasn't time. Look, I'm telling you, this is me fantasy booking, but look out for Forbidden Door. That's all I think. I think the AEW Tag Team Championships are going to change hands there. I'm expecting a 3-way tag similar to this. The Bullet Club, who are the IWGP Tag Team Champions, versus FTR versus Jurassic Express. All titles on the line. Yep. I think FTR walks out of there with 4 belts.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. But for me, this was the 1 year since the last Double or Nothing where Jungle Boy beat Christian in the Casino Battle Royale. So I just felt like it was kind of lining up for that, but I do see how, like, you know, it wasn't really time, because if they're going to change hands at Forbidden Door, that is the better place to do it.
Right.
And we don't want to bounce them back and forth.
You don't want
anybody.
that too much. I agree with John Cream in the chat saying not trying to hate, but the tag division is too stacked for Jungle Express to be the champs. I think PNP, Prime and Powerful, should get that title.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think the AEW tag team division is the strongest tag team division in wrestling, and it's also AEW's strongest division.
Yeah.
Their tag team division is stacked, and I think that there are multiple teams who should be the tag team champions right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not how it works. I personally like Jurassic Express. I think that Jungle Boy is a future world champion in the company. I think that Luchasaurus is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Put them together, and it's just a fun tag team for me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's coming. I don't think they're going to be the champs for long.
Yeah, actually, John, not trying to hate, but yeah, I'm not a fan of theirs. How do I say this? I'm not a huge fan of theirs anymore either. When they first won the titles, I was all about them. But since then, you know, I don't know what it is. Almost like a Britt Baker effect has happened for me. Since they took the titles, they've just kind of like faded down for me.
See, I don't agree with that at all. I think that Jungle Boy specifically has been putting on excellent matches.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not all tag matches.
Yeah.
Maybe you could make that critique. But no, I mean, I think that especially Jungle Boy's been doing phenomenal. Like, you look back at the matches he's had, like just on Wednesday he had a three-way dance with Swerve and Starks, and that was an excellent match.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on what it is, but it was just like with Britt. Like, I couldn't figure out why, but something about him, I slowly like lost interest. To be honest, I think I know what it was. I think it was my love of FTR being born. Like, my love for FTR is insane right now. So
yeah,
I think that might have been what happened.
Absolutely. Like, and I do think that the FTR are going to be the next tag team champions.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they're the best tag team in wrestling right now. I mean, I still think the Bucks are better personally. That's just my opinion. I think that they're both such excellent teams. It comes down to preference. But yeah, so we covered the predictions, I believe, on that one. Before the main event, let's just run through these two that no points were rewarded. So we did a prediction for would there be any Forbidden Door shenanigans.
Yep.
There was none.
No shenanigans.
Forrest picked NATO, you picked Okada, and I picked the Bullet Club. None of them happened.
Nothing.
No points. Heels/face turns. There were none.
There were none.
Forrest and I predicted one. I think we both predicted. Well, you picked two. I think one of them was Christian Cage.
Yep.
And then something else. I picked one because I thought it was possible Punk might turn.
Yeah.
Or Hangman would turn. And so we didn't get any. I don't remember what Forrest's reason was for it. But so no points there either. Let's talk about this fucking main event.
Wow. I mean,
Excuse me.
I'm going to let you go since, you know.
This was an emotional match for me. And again, like, full disclosure, there is some bias here. CM Punk is my favorite wrestler of all time. I do think he's the best in the world. I think that, sure, Bryan Danielson is a better wrestler. But, like, if you're talking about all-around balanced wrestler, it's CM Punk for me. When he left the WWE in January of 2014, that shit fucking sucked, and it tore me up. I was super upset. I was super bummed. And even though I had some issues with the company before that, that was really the beginning of the end for me as a fan of that company. And so, like, I spent 7 years sitting here, moving on without CM Punk, convincing myself that he was never coming back, that he was done. You know, he went and wrote comic books. Yeah. He started MMA fighting. It wasn't the best, but, you know, he tried. And you got to respect the guy for giving it a shot. He definitely got into it too late, though. But it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I followed him on Instagram. I followed him on social media, and I just followed him. And I was just happy because it seemed like he was happy. You know, I got invested in the guy completely, 100%. When he came back in August last year, it was super special for me. It was, again, he's my favorite of all time. Like, I do view him as one of the biggest reasons that AEW exists is I think CM Punk gets that ball rolling in 2014. He starts the level of discomfort in sports entertainment, let's say.
Yeah.
And it's just, when he came back in August, I was like, man, this is such a gift. It's just, it just felt like extra. You know what I mean? It felt like extra. It felt like we were getting, extra. And so I was just appreciative of all of it. We've been to 3 AEW shows since he debuted. And I lost my voice each time cheering for the guy.
Yeah.
It was John Cream in the chat. When I was 16 when CM Punk left wrestling, it's awesome to have a moment of going back to my childhood with him as champ. Exactly. Like, yeah, you get it. This was a super important thing for me. Like, once it started to seem like he was gonna run for the title, I did change my mindset a little bit. I went from, this is all extra to like, he's the best in the world and he deserves the championship.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just the way it is. He's going out on Dynamite every week and he's having these 5-star matches against guys on Dynamite and proving that he can still hang. He's one of the most over guys, if not the most over guy in the company. You can say what you want about him. I know that there are some people that think he's a little old and thinks that he can't go anymore. For me, that's just not the case. I think that the guy still has the psychology on lockdown. I don't think he's had a bad match in AEW. He spent the last 10 months proving that he still has it. And yeah, tonight this was, he faced Hangman Adam Page, who's been, we've talked about it many times on the podcast. I think he definitely won me over, with him as champion. Before he was his title reign, I wasn't the biggest fan, and he definitely won me over. And, I would consider myself a Hangman Adam Page fan now.
Oh, yeah.
But, going in this match, again, predictions. We did the prediction show. I told you right now, like, I don't care if it costs me my Broken Predictions championship. I'm going with Punk on this. And luckily it worked out for me.
Absolutely.
But so, yeah, this was an excellent match. This was a great match. There was some awesome storytelling going on in this match. Between Hangman's dislike of Punk, which still at this point in the story feels unfounded.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense yet. If Punk turns heel soon, then it will. But I don't know. I thought that this was I just thought this was a great match, and it was emotional for me. Like, when you're invested in these types of things, it makes the matches more exciting. Having, the close finishes, the 2 counts. Like when Hangman, when I think Hangman hit the buckshot at one point, and I was like, oh no, he hit the dead eye. When he hit the dead eye, I was like, fuck, that's it. He's gonna lose. And I almost lost it. But so he ends up winning the match. He hits the GTS. After Hangman grabs the belt, you think Hangman's going to turn heel. He ends up not doing it, which I think that was really awesome storytelling on everyone's part there. But Punk, he ends up winning clean too. There's no heel turn there.
Nope.
Punk wins the title via the GTS, and I'm not going to lie, there was about a minute and a half between when the show ended to when we went live, and I definitely teared up, and I was definitely very emotional when that match stopped. Like, you're setting up the table and stuff, and I'm just sitting there, like, hand in my, like, face in my hand, and I'm just like, all right, like, we fucking did it. Like,
we did it.
And I'm so happy for him, because, the guy deserves happiness. He's always out there, and, you follow him on Twitter, he's always fighting for what he believes in and speaking up for things that he believes in, and, like, what an awesome guy. And I'm just so happy for him.
Yeah, this crowd was so loud for this match.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue how they had this much energy left after 5 hours. Because this was 5 hours after the show started. This crowd was as loud as they had been all night. There was 14,500 people chanting, "Let's go Hangman CM Punk. Let's go Hangman CM Punk."
Yeah.
That was incredible. I mean, you could just feel the atmosphere through the TV.
And again, my hat is off to AEW. This was, going into this match, this was one of the most unpredictable matches of all time.
Yeah.
As a CM Punk diehard, I did not go into tonight with any certainty that CM Punk was going to win this title. I think it was booked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Advogado says in the chat, I do think that the hate towards Punk seems a little unfounded right now. And I don't see Punk turning heel on Wednesday either.
No.
I just don't see it.
This is long-term story booking. This is
right.
Yeah, this is
absolutely. So, John Cream saying some people should wait till Chicago, but this crowd definitely destroyed that thinking. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that it was time to pull the trigger. He's super hot right now, and
they're not going to be in Chicago except for Forbidden Door, but I don't think they would do a title change there.
No.
Like the next time they're in Chicago is probably September for All Out.
Yeah.
So no, it was time now.
The biggest match that you can do at Forbidden Door is Okada versus Punk. Unless Kenny Omega comes back. There's no other big
Danielson
match.
really wants to wrestle Okada.
True.
I would give Danielson Okada.
He could.
I understand that there is like some negativity towards it. I would honestly say, just for the sake of it, because there is something there,
Yeah.
I would have Punk and Kenta. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I would do, and I think there's a story established there.
And it does make a little sense because I guess both companies, nobody wants their champ to lose. So if you put champ versus champ,
It's not going to work.
Somebody's got to go down there. So I do see that, but that's the biggest match that you could probably have.
Yeah.
Without Kenny.
Right.
So dude, this was just great. We got on Wednesday, we got Dynamite, where Warner Media and Discovery executives are going to be there throwing a party for Tony and AEW. We have to start Wednesday with CM Punk's music.
Absolutely.
The moment that show turns on, we just need to hear Cult of Personality start up. I want those Warner executives to feel that crowd.
I want them to feel what I felt tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And-
yeah, it was electric, and it was super special for me. And in the predictions, you and I both chose CM Punk.
Yes, we did.
I would have preferred it to just be me and Punk, but it was fine because you're already out of it. But Forrest chose Hangman. So here's the problem, right? So Jeff, you get a point, and I get a point. Forrest is currently in the lead at 10. You're at 8, and I'm at 9. So you finished really well.
Yeah.
You were sitting there all night saying, "Oh, I did so awful." You didn't do that bad. Now here's the problem, right? You know, for those paying attention, it would seem that Forrest is now the Broken Predictions champion. However, Forrest decided to make a little bit of a wager because this is double or nothing. So for those who watched the prediction show, we also had a bonus of returns and debuts, where we all picked whether there was going to be a return and debut or who was going to be. Man, if you had said Athena, you'd be in this race, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I said the Garganos. I thought we were going to see Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. We did not.
Okay. So we did not. We did not see the Garganos. I thought it was going to be Kenny Omega. I thought Kenny Omega was going to come back after the Adam Cole match, and we were going to kick off this summer of the Elite Civil War. Yep. That's what I thought we were going to get. We didn't get it. Forrest liked both ideas, and he asked us if he could say both. Now, I'm currently the Broken Predictions champion. So, champion's discretion is a thing here on the podcast. So, I had the final say if I was going to allow it. And I gave him the stipulation that if he can say both, and he'll get 2 points if both happen. However, if only one or neither of them happen, he loses a point. This is what we call the double or nothing stipulation. So Forrest is losing a point.
And it would appear y'all are tied.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to establish it due to this being the first time. Once again, champion's discretion. I think in the event of a tie between a champion and a challenger, I say champion retains. We don't have another way to do it. He's not here. And this can also work not in my favor in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a fair way to do it because obviously the show's over. There's nothing else to predict.
I think considering Forrest's situation and not being able to join us all the time, that probably you should retain. But if he would be able to possibly join us this week, I think you guys should have to go head to head in a Dynamite predictions.
I don't know, man. Look, we don't even have a card announced yet.
No,
I get it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna be defending. He's got a month to get his shit together. We have Forbidden Door June 26th.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing another prediction show. He's not gonna have to wait very long to get a chance.
No, I agree. We can almost consider this like a not a double DQ, but
it's
double
like a
count out, whatever you want to call
champion
it.
Champion retains.
Champion retains.
Yeah, it's the champion advantage.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's gonna be a thing here too.
All right, so
I'm still the Broken Predictions champion, and I understand that some people are gonna be like, oh, okay, this motherfucker, he's just giving it to
retains.
I retain.
All right,
I retain, and Punk wins the title. That sounds like an excellent night for me
personally.
Absolutely. So, quick question for chat. What do you guys see happening on Wednesday? I'm almost positive we're getting Punk's music to start. Do you guys think we see any of MJF at all? The way he was stretchered off with the neck brace and the oxygen, I don't know if we see him for a while. I think he was written off of TV tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all signs would indicate that he's getting written off TV.
Yeah.
I don't know how long term that is. I hope we see him again in AEW. At the end of the day, like you can't do what you're doing, and part of me wants to think at some point this is a work of some sort.
Yeah.
Because like I don't see MJF. I don't understand the argument that MJF is unhappy. I mean, he's gonna get more money once his contract expires. His camp, based off reports, have said that he understands that that's how contracts work.
Yeah.
That he can't just get a raise. He has to work more dates. There needs to be an extension for him to make more money. So it's not that, and I don't understand where the creativity. Like, it's not bad creative either.
No, yeah.
Like, he's been a top guy in the company.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe he wants the world title right now, but I mean, I don't see that as a viable reason either to be upset.
No, yeah.
Because again, he's only 25 and he's going to be a champion many times in AEW's future if that's what he wants.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very confused. I'm hoping that this is just kind of him needing some time off.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping.
I think it's a combination of the three. I think he needs some time off. It's time for him to take a break anyway. I do think that this was a shoot to start with. So I do think he is also being punished at the same time. So yeah, I think it's a combination of all the above, you know,
Yeah, but on the other side, I do also think that there's, you know, some arguments for the fact that it's a shoot. I think that the way that they had that match go on first tonight, the way that the match happened,
That's a really good question. That's a really good question, John. I've been wondering if Miro should come back after the TNT title or go after the world title. And now that you actually like posed the question, I think Miro's already done and had the TNT title. I think he should go after the world title. That's a good spot for him to come back to.
yeah, I agree with that. I think that could definitely be a good challenger for him.
Yeah.
I do believe that we're going to get Punk and Hangman again.
Oh yeah.
I think we're going to get a rematch for that. Part of me feels like Adam Cole's going to be lining up next.
Yeah.
That just feels like the natural progression for me. I mean, obviously Adam Cole is positioned to be a big star in the company. He is a big star in the company.
Yeah.
He's a heel right now. I think a lot of the other heels are currently kind of wrapped up in ongoing storylines, especially if MJF. I mean, they already feuded, so I wouldn't want MJF versus Punk right now anyway.
No, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think Miro's a good choice for maybe a second opponent, but
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be Adam Cole after Hangman.
The only thing is, you know, if we were right about this Owen Hart tournament being kind of like the king of the ring for AEW, I don't see him going after the title yet. I see him and Britt parading around with their belts for a good while first. Yeah, I kind of see that happening. Him and Britt are going to walk around with their belts and, you know, look at us and who wants a shot at the Owen champion, you know, just like the King of the Ring does, you know, walks around with their scepter and their crown, and a couple months later they get their title shot, but I think that might be what's going down.
All right, yeah. I mean, I can understand that.
Now that John mentions Miro, like, I wouldn't be shocked if on Wednesday we see Miro step up to Punk. If he's ready to go, I mean, that'll be another giant pop right after Punk's music hits.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a heel. The crowd's going to pop for him even though he's a heel. They're going to love him, and then they're going to hate him because he's going against Punk. It's actually perfect, John. Damn. Nice call.
Yeah.
But it is 2:00 in the morning here, and I am pretty sure the wife's up there not happy at the moment. So I think we're going to call this one. This was an absolutely fantastic pay-per-view. We will be back on Wednesday night with our AEW Dynamite review. That's going to be a banger, dude. I can't wait to see this Dynamite. This is going to be amazing.
This might be an all-timer. I mean, we don't have anything announced yet. I'm sure we're going to get things announced throughout tomorrow and probably Tuesday. But again, I mean, Warner executives, Discovery executives are going to be in the building. It's AEW's first show in California.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really big night.
Absolutely.
I imagine we're going to see Punk. We already have a 10-man tag announced between the Undisputed Elite and, you know, some other guys.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna say we got to see a match with the Bucks, but that's it right there.
I mean,
There's
I'm going to
10
keep
man.
preaching it, and I think Kenny Omega comes back. I don't know. I think that with the executives in the building, they're going to want to, like, really, like,
Yeah.
do some stuff that's going to get some hype.
I'm starting to believe the reports that he's nowhere near ready, though. It's possible, but
Yeah. John Cream in the chat, I want to say thanks for the show. First time watching live. I'll try to catch another one. Great job, guys. Thank you so much.
yeah, dude.
We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the new subs that we got. And, you know, we just love doing it. We love pro wrestling. We have a blast just sitting down and talking about it. It's something that we just, like, legit just fucking love doing.
It's a passion of ours, you know, and we both finally found the podcast that I love doing this, man.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward to it
Yeah.
all the time. I recently changed jobs, so I'm a lot happier now. But, like, before I changed the jobs, I was really unhappy with where I was working. I was just like, man, I can't wait to fucking do the podcast. So, yeah, we love it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Avogado. And, you know, thank you, everybody in chat tonight. If you guys haven't subbed, hit that sub button for us. When we hit 500, we will be doing a giveaway of a Sting Luminaries figure. I don't have it with me here tonight, but I'm sure you can imagine the blue box, the Luminaries figure.
You'll be showing it off on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll showing it off on Wednesday. Yeah, we're gonna be back on Wednesday night for that Dynamite. It's gonna be an all-timer. I actually think this may be one of the best Dynamites we've ever seen.
Tony Khan's gonna be stacking this one.
Absolutely. So until then, everybody, thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Go check out some of our other videos, some of the Broken Table of the Weeks, especially the Wheeler Yuta one with John Moxley. I'm really proud of the editing I did in that one, so please go check that one out. And you want to close us out?
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 40 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider giving us a like and a sub wherever you find us. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at The Broken Tables Show or on Facebook and Instagram at The Broken Tables Podcast. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views, as you can see right here. You know, we hope to see you guys again. Appreciate, you know, you guys hanging out with us, and see you guys later.
Right on. Top guys, out.